Yay! Welcome back, everybody. Woo! Hopefully that was on cue because I don't have headsets.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, we don't have
hear
headsets,
It
and
sounds so weird now.
over here the orchestra, and he's like doing this in the background. It's all good. Thank you for doing that, Senor over there in the back. I'll introduce you in a second, but welcome back. It is our 4th episode.
Yep.
Of the season, and I'll say this. Maybe I shouldn't say this. We fucked up in the beginning, so this is the second time we're trying to record this.
My bad,
so
guys.
It's going to be a little bit rocky. It's all right though. We are here. We've got Ariel over there. Say hello.
Howdy.
Mr. Joaquin.
Hey.
Danielito.
Yo.
And in the back room, on the chair. I don't know, man. It's Armando Manzanero.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, he's got his own podcast, right, Daniel?
Yeah, he's got Dos Bolivianos and a Therapist. It's a great podcast. Armando, tell us a little bit about it.
We come up with it because at the time I realized a lot of my community, Bolivian community, does not have any coping mechanisms with skills that can help them with depression, breakups, and things like that. So, and my therapist was happy enough to join us on our podcast. So she's
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It's very cool.
That's like
That's
very
awesome.
much like what we're about to talk about,
Yeah.
or somewhat.
It's exactly in that. And then
I like
also,
that, man. Keep
it
your
is
community-
live now, I think.
yeah.
Oh, you guys do
You
live?
guys do live episodes?
No, not live. It's
yeah.
Like the show's live. It's already out.
You can find the episodes on YouTube,
Yeah.
Spotify,
Spotify and Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, those two. So listen up.
Give it a
Maybe,
listen.
yeah, give it a listen. If you guys are up to, maybe at some point
Thank you,
one of you
guys.
guys can come and join us, or two of you. Hopefully, not you, but somebody else.
He's already here, bro.
Oh, my bad, dude.
Thank you for the free advertisement, guys. I love it.
No problem.
Yeah.
Do the same.
Do this. Okay, we'll do.
No, but today we're talking about, and I think that's what you're going into. We're talking about habits and addictions. So Armando is going to have some insight from what he's learned and what he's got in his podcast. Because how long have you done it now?
We started it last year on November. So it's been about shy of 3 to 4 months now.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, we've restarted this just about a month ago, 2 months ago now.
No.
I'd say beginning of this year.
4 months. It's the 4th episode, so this is 4 months.
Oh shoot, man, I don't know how to do math.
Time
It's all
flies.
good though. In any case, that's the topic today: habits and addictions. I did want to mention that the podcast is lighthearted. We're gonna make fun of a lot of things, not to insult anybody, not to offend anybody, just to keep it light.
Some things will be very, very hard to accept.
Yeah,
That's right.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Right.
And that's the. If this is not what you want to hear, you can, it's okay to move on, and we want everybody to listen, but the whole point of the podcast is to like keep it fun. And I know these are serious topics. I think we all understand these are serious topics, but at the same time, you can only. I think it's easier to swallow when it's a little bit of fun in it. When
Yeah.
things
Oh,
are
yeah.
problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
with that said, let's get into the definition of. First, let's go with habits.
Alrighty, so according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, habit is a settled tendency or a usual manner of behavior. Another definition is an acquired mode of behavior that has become nearly or completely involuntary to somebody.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
To somebody?
To a person.
Oh, to a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody else would see it or notice it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily yourself, in a way.
Yeah. Like, I think a good one that I can think, and maybe let's talk about that. Like biting my nails. That's a bad habit that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
And I do that all the time. I've never, the last time I used nail clippers to cut my nails, I probably was like 10 years old.
Is it because
wow.
maybe because it's easy for you to just do it because you're so used to it, and you're getting probably good at it too,
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
what habits do.
Yeah.
Habits, yeah.
I think it is because, it started because of laziness. I didn't want to cut it with nail clippers. But then also now I think it's also a anxiety mechanism too, like when I'm
Yep.
anxious.
Right.
Or when I'm like nervous, like if I'm watching a soccer game or if I'm like with something, I just notice that I have my fingers in my mouth, biting my nails. So yeah, I think that is that a I guess
That could be a habit
That's
for sure.
That's a habit, yep.
I wouldn't call it an addiction, but yeah, that's
No.
a habit.
it's a habit.
Yeah.
It's a bad habit.
Yeah.
When you go from a habit to addiction, it's basically a habit that either you're noticing or somebody notices, but then it gets to the next level, and that's where like you yourself, like you probably don't even realize it, but then you also maybe see the satisfaction of continuing to do it, or maybe you want to continue going down that sort of habit that you've created, but then eventually becomes an addiction.
Right.
But that's something else. Habit is just there's like a ton of habits. I mean, there's endless ways of thinking about it, right? But I think like something like that would be a good example. Like for example, like let's say I have to have my coffee every morning, right?
Yes.
That could be a habit.
Right.
But then if you start creating an excuse and say, well, I have to have this coffee before I function, and you always have to have coffee, that becomes an addiction. So I think that's kind of like the way we at least, think about these two topics.
Yeah.
But
I think
what's up?
I think there's like a fine line between like habit and then becoming an addiction. Like you said, when it progresses to an addiction, it's more of the mindset where I need to do this, I need to have it, whereas habit is kind of just something that goes on, if that makes sense. To like put it in some sort of terms, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I think to get to that progression, there's just that fine line.
Yeah.
And then I guess maybe to help us out, what's the definition of addiction, Armando?
Thank you. So, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, addiction, a compulsive, chronic, psychological, or physiological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity having harmful physical or psychological or social effects and typically causing well-defined symptoms.
Wait, did you say unwell-defined symptoms?
Typically causing well-defined symptoms, such as anxiety,
Mm.
irritability, tremors, or nausea.
So would you guys say that addictions are always bad? Or
Addictions doesn't have to always be bad, but then if there's a reason why it's an addiction, right? I mean, let's say if it was a good addiction, right? Then you wouldn't have to have an issue at all.
What is that? So what is an example of a good addiction
A good addiction?
that you can think
That
of?
is a
'Cause
good one.
I can't think
I
of
thought
one.
about that too. But what if you have your mindset has already been programmed to making sure you wake up every morning, you do your bed, you
Like
brush
your
your
habits.
teeth, those habits are continuous, and if somebody breaks that, somehow you lose your mind away, or
Oh,
just
you
breaks.
become irritable.
So maybe that, or like or maybe properly going through your day, making sure that everything is proper, everything is taken care of, so that later, because I mean it's a psychological way of thinking,
Yeah.
right? But that's a good one. I'm not sure if that would consider to be a good addiction,
'Cause
but
I
there's
can-
no such thing really.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I was thinking there are good habits and bad habits, right?
Yeah.
A good habit is
Yeah,
like,
that for sure.
I think right. A good habit is to do, I don't know,
brush your teeth every morning?
right, or
every
like
night?
make your bed every morning, something silly
Right.
like that, or something like that. But addictions, I mean, and I'm not saying like I can't think of anything that I'd be good, because even like something good as like working, right? Working is good. All of us need to work.
Yes.
But if you are addicted to work,
yeah.
that becomes a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. You're a
Your
workaholic or whatever.
family and stuff.
Yeah, and then it's like same thing with like I don't know, someone that plays sports.
Yeah.
Right. If all you think about and do is like sports, then it takes away from other aspects of your life,
Sure.
Yep.
becoming an addiction and then becoming a problem. Like to the definition they share, it's like it affects those around you.
And in that scientific way of thinking, it's that dopamine hit where you're always reaching that something. And I mean, we can go broad. Like you're sipping your good orange
this one?
Fantasia. What is that?
Fanta.
Fantasia.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but that alone, because I mean we can talk about this for a second too, because sugar is definitely a form of addiction.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe a lot of doctors and other physicians and others may have not said that, right? But in reality, it really is, because one, it's very cheap. I mean, think about it. We can talk about that health topic later on another day. But for example, if you think about what is the cheapest thing that these companies would sell you, like if you really think about it, that's one of them.
Yep.
Like that is actually it is cheaper than water. Like if you think about it, it's the truth.
And it's owned by the same company. Like Dasani makes Coca-Cola, or Coca-Cola company is Dasani and Coca-Cola. You go to a McDonald's and you want a bottle of water, it's $1.29 or maybe more now,
Yeah.
but the Coke is like $1.
Yeah.
It's 29 cents. Why am I gonna?
It's because of the addiction aspect. Is what
So
you're saying.
because it hits the dopamine and then it's good. Because when was the last time you had one piece of chocolate or one piece of pastry or whatever, and you say I'm good. Most
What
of the
was
time,
the last time? Area health.
Most of the time.
Don't ask me. I have a sweet tooth. I will eat until I can't anymore.
Sugar.
Yeah.
So sugar. Would you say you're addicted to sugar?
I've never like outwardly said that I'm addicted to sugar, but there's definitely like I don't think I could go without sugar.
I think I'm
So
the same way.
I think it got to the point where if I had to say it, I do think I'm addicted to sugar.
Because it's almost like in my mind, I'll use my mind. Sorry to put you on the spot, but like I mean, like I think of it like it's a normal thing.
Right.
I have to have sugar with my coffee. I have to have sugar with this. It's not even the thing that I have to think about or I think about. But if I, like you're saying, take a step back and look at it, if I don't have it, then I can't have it. And I've done it so where I do black coffee for a while when I was trying to lose some weight and whatever, and I'm able to do it.
Mm-hmm. But it just wasn't good.
It didn't feel the same.
So yeah, that's the same. That was the same thing with me. When my dad got diabetes back when I was in high school, and he kind of cut sugar out, and I was just like, I don't think I could drink black coffee, period, or tea without sugar. It's just not for me. But slowly but surely, I started to get into it. Like I would either go from two teaspoons of sugar to a teaspoon of sugar to no, and sometimes that would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But what really helped me was putting it in ice. So rather than just hot black coffee, I would put iced coffee, no cream, no sugar, and it didn't taste good at first, but it's an acquired taste, and it's so
you get
good.
used to it.
Yeah. So at that point, like I literally cut no sugary drinks, nothing. It was just seltzer water with no sugar. It was water or black coffee, and that was all I would drink.
I'll tell you my experience. So I'm the complete opposite. So I actually, for me, it was normal as well. Sodas was a thing. Like you could take that 2 liter, Coke and just chug it yourself, like all by yourself, and that was normal, But of course, as you grow up and then you start learning things and you start taking care of yourself, you start to realize, you know what? Maybe if it's true and there's reasons why it's that cheap and there's reasons why. And by the way, when we say sugar, we can also talk about other types of carbohydrates because it also contains sugar.
Yep.
Right.
So, for example, like wheat and all these other aspects of
said
wheat.
weed?
Wheat.
I was gonna say
No.
weed. Oh, there you go.
But because sometimes like you eat a fry and also French fries, for example,
Fries,
it's
another
terrible. But like, but there's reasons why you like it so much and you actually get more of that. It's because it also contains sugar. So the thing is, eventually I sort of gradually stopped taking sugar. For example, the biggest example would be our tea, the black tea. You guys probably had that many times.
no.
Yeah, so good.
And it's really good when you add a couple of spoons of sugar. Now that's a normal. That's just it's
Like a
our
tradition
daily.
almost.
It's a tradition. You go back home and you go to somebody's house or you go to somebody's restaurant. They bring you tea anyway, and we can have 5. We can have tea 5 times a day basically. That's just normal. And a lot of times it's already sweetened because they put it in there anyway.
Yep.
So eventually, of course, it becomes a problem. Parents grow older, and then the doctors will tell you, cut that down, whatever. But for me, it was just a choice. To go back to habits, it becomes a habit, but then eventually it's not addiction. So what you did is you slowed down instead of letting it become an addiction, right?
Yeah.
And I know this is a terrible topic to talk about because I think a lot of people don't admit to this because sugar is really one of the worst things you can actually ever have.
Yes.
It really is. And I still can't believe that the fact that it's
Processed sugar.
honestly,
Because fruits have sugar.
but even fruits, they say you can have fruits, but there are certain kind of fruits.
It should be like a dessert.
They're like, okay, like for example, grapes, they're like way up there on the top, right?
Yeah.
On the
Way up
list.
there on what
in
top?
terms of how amount of sugar is in there.
Okay.
I mean, you can eat it. It's good for, you get good amount of vitamins, but you don't have to eat like a lot.
Right.
Or like, for example, like dates. We love dates. That's like it's just where it's where, but compared dates to grapes, they're two different families, but dates is really good for you. Like there's a lot of good nutritions in there, and we can pull up the nutritional factor list. But I'm saying that when you look at some of these things, you can choose different types of fruits to get. It's maybe not addicted. I mean, I don't. Can people get addicted to fruits? To eat a lot of fruits?
Steve Jobs was a fruitarian. He wouldn't vegetarians.
He's a bat.
He would only eat fruits.
Bat.
Part of the reason he.
bats, right?
I mean, hey,
No,
out
but I
of
think,
the evolution of animals surviving, they all eat fruits too.
but I
probably.
think you're right though. I think because I think there was a marketing, I don't know if it's a marketing campaign, but like it was a push before. Like if you go back just 10 years ago, where fruits were good,
Yeah.
right? Same thing like as milk.
Yeah.
Milk is a good like source of calcium, whatever.
Yes.
And I think a lot of these were marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
And things like that to just push things. I'm not denying that there is some of that component.
The
but some
food
of
pyramid
has been switched.
has been
completely.
switched. I agree.
Flip
Even
it upside down.
Obama during his presidency, he tried to bring that back, tried to fix it a little bit. But I think the food industry really, the FDA really just it is a terrible department when it comes to food and what they can regulate. The reason why I'm saying this, and I really am not trying to be that guy, but when we were talking about sugar, right? One of the reasons why zero and diet tends to be out there and they put zero on it in terms of calories, that's actually bullshit. It's a scam. I'll tell you why. The names, you can actually pull this up too, Armando. You can actually pull up FDA and then put list of sugars allowed or something like that. You will see that it has tons of names that was added to these ingredients where they say that it's not sugar, but in reality it's sugar. It's refined, disguised as sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, like why people would say, "Oh, give me that Mexican cola," or that South American cola, or the Inca cola. Because no, I'm serious. It's a thing. You ask somebody when they say that, because they say that it's because it's from sugar cane, natural sugar, or whatever type of sugar they use. Because it's like regular sugar is good for you, right? But then in reality, when you know that that's something that you've been consuming all the time, that's when it becomes a realization where, okay, maybe that's what the dopamine behind the back of your mind or in your head that's kicking in, and you don't realize it because why would you realize it? It's a good thing. Like it makes you feel good, and that's why you get to it. Yeah,
it tastes good, and I don't know if it's like. So that's the other thing I don't know. It's like, does it taste good because I've become I've learned to
That's your
associate,
basis.
yeah, and then this is it, or like if I give it to a baby that has never tried anything, would they think it's good from the get go? Like biologically.
that's a good. I would love to see that experiment. I mean, for sure.
Very quickly, guys.
Go for
So, just to go back to what you guys said earlier about the prices, we just looked it up. Actually, so a bottle of water at McDonald's is total of $2.15 according to the menu. And then also the McDonald's soft drink is $1.65. So it's a very price.
Twice as much?
Okay, but if you think about it, right? This is kind of off topic, but how much plastic goes into a water bottle and the packaging itself? And then how much goes into like that bag of syrup that is in that fountain drink?
That makes sense too.
You're talking about like
the price cost. Like,
the things that you need to actually deliver the product.
The manufacturing cost.
Okay, how about this? Have you seen that one video where this guy takes all the company water bottles that people sell that in your regular grocery store, and he does the pH level? He tries to find out what's actually in the water. You know what I'm talking about, Armando?
Yeah, I see.
All right, so how about this? 90% of those waters are terrible. They're not even real water.
like the big
Tap
like
water.
They're just
tap
like,
water.
They're.
I thought do you drink tap water?
Well,
Well, you can. I mean,
but they use bigger facilities to clean the water, but in reality, it doesn't have all the nutritional factors from a regular spring water or like the regular water that you're supposed to have, for example.
Like the ones that come from Italy.
Sure, to
Fiji
be that
water?
specific.
Isn't there like
Aquapana?
Isn't there like a brand of bottled water that's like supposed to be like the Italian Springs or something like that?
I think I know what
Sure.
you're talking
It's
about.
like $200.
No, I didn't mean to bring up that water topic, but I think when you compare to that giant plastic, ready to go, I mean, all of that is artificial flavored, chemically made in a lab, so that can. And by the way, when you go to that the dispensary where you get that drink, that soft drink,
Yeah.
you ever see like how it's like dark and then white, dark and white? Because all it's timed is just it's adding regular seltzer water and the flavored artificial flavor.
Yeah.
And they just time it until you get the perfect amount of.
The mix. And sometimes it doesn't work.
And some that doesn't work, yeah, because
Sometimes
you're like,
you're like,
hey, I don't see the color, it's all white.
Why am I getting Diet Coke? I want a regular Coke, bitch.
Yeah,
What
I mean,
said
that's
that?
ooh, damn, bro. But there's a lot of chemicals that's put in there. I wanted to mention one thing when we were talking about the sugar. I know we're going off topic. I mean, we have a ton of other things to talk about, but The reason why I said I'll use me as an example is because I stopped taking sugar
All sugars.
completely, and for years too, by the way.
How long?
Now, it's been almost maybe 10 years.
That's
10 years.
discipline.
Now, I'm not saying that I don't eat some sweets once in a while, or I'll have like a little bit of cream, just a little bit of cream, and the cream already has some like a little bit of sugar in there.
Right.
The only thing is though, I've cut it down a lot.
Yeah, I mean, drastically.
But if I take that same soda that I used to love back when I was a kid, I can't.
It tastes bad.
You know why? Because my brain, my mind has been rewired,
It's a different.
and that's how habits slowly, transition into a different, different way
Yeah,
of
because now
thinking.
you've now okay. What it used to taste good, like you haven't had it for so long, like you tasted it. It's almost like it hits you really hard. You're like, why is this so sweet?
So, like for me, because I didn't do it as long as you did, but when I cut the sugary drinks out, it was for like a good 6-7 months,
Okay,
and I had lost a ton of weight, and it wasn't just because of cutting out the sugar
and you
drinks.
saw it yourself too.
But like I would work out and do a bunch of stuff, and I looked good. But
Period.
Well, that's debatable.
well, I looked good back then, not so much now. But
Like, come on, man,
what do you call it?
looking good
But
always.
When I had that
Fantastic.
You age
first,
like wine.
Yeah, more like cheese.
fine,
It's
man.
all good.
but like when I had my first drink of Coke, like literally my first one after so long, it hit my tongue, and it was so good.
Oh.
It was like crack.
Okay,
Like,
so
no
so
joke.
he didn't go long enough.
I didn't go long
If he had
enough.
done it like a couple of years, it would have tasted
That's
completely
exactly what it
different.
is.
But like every now and then, I would drink Coke, and it would be like, "This is way too sweet. Like there's just way too much sugar
Yeah.
in this."
So
And
you
it's the
saw a
same
contrast.
Yeah. But like that first one was like it hit me so good. Like,
Another thing that we forget to talk about is, at least when it comes to like food addiction, is fried food. That's something that I also cut down a lot. Today, if you give me like a wing, like a Popeyes, drumstick, for example, and I
Yeah.
take a bite of it, the first thing that hits my tongue, it's that I can already taste what was inside that the fryer and how long that oil has been in there. You know what I mean?
he's a sommelier.
For some reason, just because it's like sometimes you don't think about it, right? Mm-hmm. So, like
You
just
get
that's
that
just how it is.
flavor, that heavy flavor of oil right away.
Exactly, and
Yeah, I see what you
I
mean.
don't like it. It almost feels like I want to throw up
Yeah.
because I don't like.
That happened to me for a while when I went to the very first time we went to Bolivia, which was 2017, 2014. I don't remember. 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, dude.
2014.
Doesn't matter. I went.
Doesn't
And
matter.
then we had a lot of like oily stuff back
Yeah.
home. I came back to the United States. All I could smell was oil everywhere. I don't know what it was. I just like could smell oil everywhere. And all that's not relevant to what I'm saying, other than the fact that
Yeah.
I can taste oil. But I think Armando wanted to fact check some
Go
couple
ahead.
things.
According to our Relevance Healing Centered, habits and addictions do have a lot of similarities. Among them is you do it non-consciously, difficult to change, they're repetitive, they are long-term, and then not a lot of intentions. Not a lot of intention. Yeah.
Like-
So they're very similar. Just as you guys can see, I can see us talking is like there's some similarities on both ends.
Yeah, and I think for me, and again, I'm no therapist, I'm no scientist or anything like that, but I think an addiction, it's typically something that causes harm, maybe not to you necessarily,
And maybe to
but
others.
people
That is-
around you.
That is correct. And I also stated, addiction always mildly / severely harmful.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have I have a weird addiction. It's
Let
a-
us know.
Please tell us. We've been waiting.
Oh, I know. Hold on. I know. Can we
Can we
guess?
guess?
Yeah, go ahead, guess.
Okay. Hentai.
No,
Damn it.
that's not an addiction. No,
It's gaming.
no, I actually don't game as much. He games more than I do.
Oh, really?
Ariel?
Apple products.
Yeah, Armando's nailed it.
Apple
It is
product?
100%
You're addicted to Apple.
Apple products.
We need to hang out more. I'll change. I'll bring you the other side
No,
of,
man, I'm good.
of
Like-
Samsung.
Like seriously, I remember 2-3 years ago, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 just came out, and this is the watch I'm wearing. And I got to the office, and one of my coworkers who knows I'm into Apple goes, "Did you watch the keynote?" I'm like, "Oh my god, that was yesterday, wasn't it?" He's like, "Yeah, you didn't see the new Apple Watch? It's on sale today." I'm like, no way. So I pull out my phone without even looking at the specs, without even doing anything. I purchased an $800 watch for no freaking reason. Same day, I also purchased a new iPhone 15, I think it was at the time. Pro Max, just because I didn't look at the specs. I just bought it.
Can I tell you something? I think you have an addiction for wanting something. So there's a study showed that we can also look this up. Apparently, there's the study of wanting things is different than something that you already have. So, for example,
Desires.
But for example, you like those gadgets.
Yeah.
All right, because it's just coming out.
Latest of the latest.
Latest of the
Always.
latest. But the minute you have it, that wanting goes away.
Oh, no, not for me.
Dopamine
Dude, that
level.
lasts me for
What is that?
weeks.
What do you mean?
Oh,
You can't wait for the next one. You'd be like, I wish I have this other feature in there, probably.
oh, well, no, I wait for the keynotes to come out because, like, the
keynotes,
next one's
this
coming
guy.
out in June for the updates to the watch and the iPhone.
Well-
and he knows I put my phone through all of the betas just to get the newest software
Yeah, he's such a baby.
So there's a satisfaction to having that new gadget,
first.
and then you go through the settings and learn and figure all this stuff out. Yeah, and then what?
And then when someone asks me, Daniel, do you know how to do this? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Let me see your phone.
Let me see
Or
your
let me
phone,
go-
and he runs away with it. Sucker.
But, like, I mean, I don't know. I like being first, even with my car. Like, I had the Ioniq 5,
Yeah.
2021, first of its kind. That's how they advertise it, but that's how I like to say it. And
Shut the hell up.
I mean, that's a very interesting. I've never heard anybody being addicted to Apple products.
Can I ask, like, what is it about the Apple products?
I just like the way it feels.
the brand. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
It's actually
It's just
true
a
too.
brand.
Yeah, it's the brand.
They've done a great job getting this
They
guy
have.
involved. Wow.
Dude, they,
Yeah.
And
Apple.
he's not the only one.
No, of course not.
There's so many
Oh,
people
of
out there.
course.
Oh, there's so.
Yeah.
And I think one of the key things what they advertise, and some of it is true, is like the interconnection between the devices.
Yeah.
Your watch, your phone, your
Yeah.
computer. All of it is like, yes, and I mean to give them that, but the fact of the price point is just what is so
It's
ridiculous.
insane.
Dude, it doesn't cost them anything to make.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people have to die just to make your phone and your watch?
Oh, don't say it like that. But like the iPhone.
Can we bring up the? No, I'm kidding.
Where are the sweatshops?
like the iPhone is like what, $800, $600, $700. Like one of their cheapest iPhones, right? And it cost them like $32 to make.
So you already know this.
That.
Yeah.
So he
Screw that.
Wait, so he knows it too.
Yeah. And then those Chinese companies that made them
Why don't you just go to like?
make their knockoffs.
So, like, do you think about that before you purchase?
No.
No.
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Like
Is that the same thing? I mean, not to put you on the spot, Ariel, but do you like brand? Oh, is there a brand thing? It doesn't have to be electronics.
Yeah, it could be like fashion, maybe.
fashion bags. Do you feel that same like compulsion to like buy
Or wanting
because
that.
of the brand?
No. I haven't gotten to that, but I do know that there's people out there that do like fashion things like that, like fashion, makeup, where it's like just because it's, let's say for example, Chanel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a high-end brand who has worked to their status, so
Yep.
maybe not the best. But I mean, yeah, Chanel. Like
Because it's
some-
the same thing, though,
yeah.
right? Because they probably the amount of money that it costs them to make the bag or whatever isn't the amount of money that they're like selling it for. It's like maybe.
I will say, like, those high luxury brands, I think, are a lot more justified because I think some of them are actually handcrafted, and it does.
Yeah, and that's why it stands out because they take a lot more time and effort.
Oh, so
and
they're
there's
not like mass
expertise.
produced.
No,
Yes,
no, 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 no.
right.
like Gucci.
Well, yeah, like those. Yeah, like if it's $5,000 for a handbag, like come on, man, that you know there. And then when you see a lot of that on the streets of New York, and you're like, nah,
Like the
there's no
durability
way. There's
behind
like
it,
$100,000 on the floor.
Right. Yeah, like the durability, the stitching about it, it's like all better quality. So I do think that some of these luxury brands do have the basis behind it too.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that makes sense. But that's like this is mass produced at this.
Right.
I am not
Well,
produced.
but his is gadgets, which is different because he's so like young and into tech. I think that you like that. You like these features, and you want to know how something is used and it's up to date.
But looking at
So there's a study made by the Public Med Central that 5.8% Americans, adults, are estimated to suffer from compulsive buying disorder.
Yeah.
And then, so that means 1 out of 20 people will want to buy the next new thing. It's a compulsive disorder that you have.
Yeah, I was gonna say
disorder.
that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm right here, guys.
Because it's like what do you call that addiction? Shopaholics, right?
Shopaholics,
Yeah,
yeah.
shopaholics.
So yeah,
They just wanna shop.
exactly. There's definitely a thing that there's a name. There's probably a one.
That's me.
The
You're a
medical,
shopaholic.
I am.
The medical term.
Just like random things.
CBD, compulsive buying disorder.
Oh, CBD, not like CBD.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
is that? Why?
just things on Amazon. Like, because getting packages, like, I love online shopping. Getting a package sent to me, I could go to Target and buy, like, I just bought weed killer and garden hose attachment on Amazon because I like the feeling of seeing that package on my front step, taking it inside and opening it.
She doesn't even
It's
have a lawn.
almost like a gift.
Oh, it's always Christmas for her.
Exactly.
No, I get that feeling.
The thing is like, what is it? Compulsive buying disorder, right?
Yeah.
CBD, right? Because that is different than I think what he was saying earlier. In a way, because he's addicted to buying specific things.
I don't-
And then there's also the addiction of just spending money, right?
Yeah.
Just,
Yes.
I just spend money.
When you don't think about it, yes.
Yeah, you don't even think about it.
But I think it correlates to some similar because it is technically spending money. It is buying the brand new.
Yep.
You know, it just happens to be Apple. But it fits in the same category though.
But is it a different addiction? Can you look that up?
Actually,
is there an addiction to like just buying?
Specific brand.
Yeah, like a specific new thing. Because the only reason I say this is because there's people that like don't even look at their wallet and
they're spending
and
anyway?
they're just spending it. Right?
Yeah,
Buy.
that's honestly, I think I'm leaning more towards that.
There you go.
Because
He agrees.
yeah, because I just realized that I bought like a Lego set.
What the fudge?
This is a $260 Lego set for the Artemis 2 rocket. Okay, I really wanted it,
This is the best use of free will.
so I bought it.
How much money do you make, dog?
And it just got there.
Can you buy me some?
$200. But look, listen though, like $200 for on a.
Oh, and that's not just that. It's also jerseys. If it's not the authentic jersey, I'm literally not gonna buy it.
Well, I mean, I also buy jerseys. I think that's one of the things. I think, and this is hard to admit because I think I'm addicted to soccer, specifically Man
I
United.
thought you said
That's
sex.
not where I thought it was going to go.
It's on the list, but it's on the list. We'll go back to that too.
No sex, not sex.
Sorry,
No,
no.
I'm addicted to soccer. Because the reason I say this is like, and maybe it's not an addiction. I think it is though, because it's like I schedule everything around the Man United games.
Yeah.
I do. And there was a time, and I'm a family man. I have kids and I have a wife. And I gotten to the point where I told Nella, hey, look, Nella, anything that we have to do, I'm down to do anything.
But you gotta have your soccer.
But there's a game, we'll schedule things around it. The only thing I won't schedule is if somebody dies and I have to go to a funeral, I'm not going to be like, hold on.
I got a game on.
Push it up a
But how many
couple
times have
hours.
you? How many times have you actually put that game on while you're at an event?
Many a times,
yeah.
dude.
did it when we went
Many a
hiking.
times.
Yeah.
Many a time. Because the thing is, like,
That's true.
I think that's one of the things that I realize. Like, I'm buying the new jerseys every year that they come out, every season. I'm like watching the games. It's the only thing that I'm also not going to go hold back on spending money.
Yeah.
Now,
if I want a good
would you say that
experience.
you're addicted?
I guess I think that's
Or
what
is
it
this
comes
just
down
like
to.
a very deep appreciation and like interest in like is this harming anyone? Am I
So I think I don't let it get into that.
Yeah.
I think that there is like, for example, like if you look at fans in the UK,
Oh yeah.
their whole salary just goes to that, to being able to go to the games, being able to buy season tickets, whatever it is,
Oh.
and then they go and it affects their mood.
Yeah.
They lose, they
Yeah.
go home, beat their families.
Yeah.
like but I guess do you think you could survive without it?
I mean, I could.
So that could lean towards more habits, not so much as addiction.
Is that what you're thinking? Like,
I think that's kind of where we're going at. So you're basically saying you got to have your soccer. You want to watch it. You want to watch every game. First of all, sports in general.
Yes.
When you're a fan of a team, I think that's like a lot of passion involved. Maybe not so much addiction. Like it's just it's like that's just a normal day. I mean, everyday life thing. Like it's a game that you like. You used to play. And you want to watch, and you're always up to date, and you want your team to succeed, and because you do spend a little bit of money to go watch them too. We've talked about this, right, on the last one of the podcasts. I would say more habit. I don't know about the addiction part because you said you'd be okay without
For
it.
me though, but if we spend it out to others, maybe they're in a different situation.
Those guys who come and beat their wives after a game, that's a little excessive. I think that could be
That
addiction.
happens?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
What?
Because their team suck and then they
They're
lose.
angry and like, because this is the thing. As an example, right? And this is gonna be maybe too real, but like sometimes like I'm at work, right? And some shitty thing happens at work.
Yeah.
And I'm in a bad mood. My kid comes in and says something, nothing major, ticks me off. I react to it in a way that I normally wouldn't because I'm already at that 100% level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens with people that are addicted to soccer or like they're really invested in it. They have already been put to hell because the team lost. They play like crap. They get home, something happens, they get drunk, and then they do things that they wouldn't normally do, I guess. So that's what happens a lot of times, especially outside. I mean, in the UK, I think it was a big problem. There was many studies of like how Sunday games or weekend games would affect men in particular. And actually, I think women. There's a lot of women fans over there.
I also wouldn't. It wouldn't just be soccer. I think that happens in football. That happens in basketball. That happens in baseball. I think sports in general. But also, this actually brings us to another topic: gambling.
Yeah.
So there's.
Oh.
I mean, I see that a lot. Around, we talk about this all the time. I see people passionate about talking about their teams and the bets they did. It's yada yada yada. Eventually, there was a moment where I wouldn't call myself a gambler, but I think at this point I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm going to say, yeah, sure. There was a moment I was a gambler too. Like I'll play poker, but socially with friends, and
Right.
sometimes we'll put some money in there. We'll.
Those stakes,
You know,
$1,000.
That's nothing. I'm kidding. But there was a moment too. Like there were times where you put your own money in an account and put it on some bets, and you act like you know what the outcome is going to be. It's the adrenaline, the rush. I mean, all of that
And
plays
the
a
feeling
play.
of being right.
Yeah.
The feeling of being like
Being
I knew
right.
it was gonna,
Yeah.
it's like, it all comes down to I think what you said earlier, like the dopamine, right?
Yep.
Like that
dopamine
like
kicks.
increase in excitement in yourself that
Yeah.
makes you to get
And I think that can be a reason why these men on Sundays, because it's usually the most popular days, because maybe they put money on the line, maybe they put, maybe they, and I mean, it doesn't have to be like the excessive, like where Vegas odds and all these other companies are out there. It could just be like, your group of friends, you all put a little chip in, couple of, here and there, and you just decide to see, like March Madness is happening right now. Imagine every week, right? People are putting the amount of, like, they call it the group bets, whatever, and see who can get all these games right on a one day.
what is that called?
Brackets, yeah. I mean, that's a thing. Like, people put their, money that maybe they don't have, put it on the line, and because they think they know.
That's the biggest. And I think that's where it gets to like going from a habit to an addiction. Because if you have the money and you have control over the gambling and you can control it.
Yeah. I think you should probably bring my closer, yeah. There you
Is
go.
that better? Sorry about that.
There you go.
But at what point do you know that you've lost control? Hey, for example,
When you come home and beat your wife.
Okay, well, yeah, that
Is
a very
insane.
clear sign. Like Armando and I went to Las Vegas, and
You did?
yeah, this was
Period.
like 5-6 years ago. I don't remember. But
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah,
This is
thanks
4
for
years
the
ago.
invite.
4 years ago.
Just before I knew you guys,
don't have
we've been
friends.
knowing him. All his life, I knew him.
I don't know.
But like, I went to I didn't know how to play poker then. I didn't know how to play blackjack then. So I went to the one.
Oh,
the
blackjack's addicting.
Yeah, it is.
That one.
Now that I know it, yeah, it is. But no, I went to the one where they spin the thing and it's like the roulette one, right? And I called Daniela and I was like, Daniela, I got $20. What do you want, red or black? She was like, black. And we did that for a while and she got up to like $200 and something. And then she hung up the phone. And then I'm like, I'm gonna keep playing for Daniela. So I kept playing and I lost it down all the way to like $97. And Armando had to come and literally tell me to stop.
You
Like,
loved it, didn't you?
I did. I did. So I stopped.
Like motorboating the gambling.
But like then,
What is this game? I love this.
I call my best friend. I'm like, I got $20. I'm like, what do you want? And
It's
Same thing.
somebody's approval.
same thing.
It's like calling people.
But it wasn't
about-
even my money then, like right. So
It wasn't his money.
it was their money.
Because you had one.
Yeah, because I had one, and then I kept the $20 that I initially put the bet on.
Yeah.
But then I gave them the rest. So I got them up to like $246 or something, and I dropped it down to $128. And again, Armando had to come and pull me out. So then, on my last day there, he was gonna stay like an extra night or something.
Yeah, strip club, baby.
I stayed for like a good hour, 2 hours before my flight was taking off, and I was at the table, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I put $500 on the table, and I got $1,000 back.
Okay.
I got $1,000.
At least you got.
And then I was like, you know what?
Wait for it.
Let me keep playing.
Oh my god.
I lost $300.
Your brother's like, who are you?
And he didn't-
Like, I don't
he
know
wasn't
this
there.
Daniel.
He thought I was gone. He thought like my flight was gone. He wasn't there to pull me out. But when I had like $200 left, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I had to pull myself.
You went all the way from 1,000 to 200.
Yeah,
What was the
So you
point?
lost
I
800?
did.
Idiot.
What was the point of that whole thing? Are you trying to make money?
Yeah, what is the point of this story?
I was having
No.
fun.
It's not the story.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
At some point, you had like 1,000. What? Well, you won 500 more basically.
Yeah, I had won $500
Like
more.
what were you like? You put 500 to win a 500, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but what was the whole point?
Oh, I don't know.
You
I was-
won.
I
What is
should
the
have just
point?
left. I don't know. I like the
That's,
feeling.
I think, something that, people who actually have
The problem.
addictions
That's how it
to
starts.
gambling, they don't know when to walk away.
Yeah,
They're constantly looking for that dopamine hit
yeah.
to
You
go
gotta
back
know
to
when
it.
to hold them and
And when to fold them.
And actually,
walk away.
casinos
Walk
really
away.
do a good job at feeding into gambling addictions.
Casinos.
Casinos.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Like, there's been so much about it.
Free
Something in
drinks.
the air.
Yeah.
It's like business. It's a business,
It
right?
is.
It's
Yeah.
a business
All that
model. They
stuff.
have to come up.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get him in? How do we keep him here?
You know they say there's no clocks in casinos.
There's no
isn't.
clocks, and they keep there's no windows
windows.
either.
Sometimes they make it
keep the
cold.
light the same. You don't know what time of day it is, so you could be there from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. and you wouldn't even know,
Yeah.
right?
So just very quickly, guys. So gambling, it stimulates your brain, where you releases a lot of dopamine, and also influences your impulsive personality sometimes.
Yep.
So
That makes sense though, because like you were saying earlier, you impulsively buy Apple products.
Yep.
So it seems. It looks like it was the same kind of thing while you were there.
Yep.
Like you're impulsive. Oh, I'm winning. Let me try it again. Try it again. Try it again. And when you realized, you were like, okay, you were $800 in the hole.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like I was just like $500 here. Okay, let's go again. Let's go again. No, it was kind of like, all right, I have $1,000. Let me just put $100 in. But then that $100 turned into another, turned into another, turned into another,
You
until
whittle down.
back to
But did you at some point put all of it in there?
that 500 was.
So the 500.
That 500 was when, and that's I think what got me into it. Because when I won, I was like, I won once, I can win again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
never bet against the casino.
Yeah.
So
Unless you're Trump, then bet against his casinos. You'll always win because he goes bankrupt. How do you bankrupt the casino? It's like printing
You
money.
know it's not his casinos. He just puts his name up there, right?
Yeah, it's still.
But now apparently he's the richest.
President?
I don't know if he's getting to that. I don't think anybody even knows his worth right now
His net
because
worth?
he's got. It hasn't even been. Has it been? Actually, been a year yet. But holy crap, he's gotten so much money.
Who are you
He's-
talking about? Trump?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's
Like besides the coin, besides all the gifts he's getting from everyone, and besides his kids being appointed to all these departments and them making money, it is ridiculous the amount of money he's making right now. He
Yeah.
went from like a broke,
Entrepreneur?
I don't know, a criminal supposed to be in jail, but now it's just like
his
I think we have to cut this off.
no, we're not cutting it. Huh? His
We have to cut this off.
according to the Wall Street Journal, I just saw a video on Instagram about it yesterday. His net worth with public records, this is all the stuff that we know of that's above board, are gained up to $68.3 billion in his first year back in office.
So let's do this. Let's gear this conversation to power and money.
Addictions to that?
Because those are definitely addictions.
Absolutely.
So I was reading Machiavelli, an Italian writer, philosopher, what do you would call him? He basically like wrote a bunch of books. People didn't like him because he thought that he was a narcissist or whatever you call him.
Yeah, this is the Machiavellic.
The Machiavelli effect. What do they call
Yeah,
it?
it's like they look that up for us.
So the reason why I bring this up is because this is in the city of Florence, where Italy was 14th, 15th century. I can't remember when it was, but there was a moment where Italy was divided and they had like different monarchies and different princes and rule in different areas. He basically was just looking for a job, and he was an observer. He just loved like being at bars, being at places like like prostitution,
hell yeah, baby.
You would love that. Talk to this conversation if you want to go there. No, I'm kidding. Drunks, obnoxious people. He just kind of like observed men. That was his thing. Like he just had this like obsession with like just trying to see what their reactions would be.
You talking about men or like just the humans?
I think human in general, but for some reason he focused more. Maybe back then it was like man was just like it's like a man's world, I guess, because they just.
Man's world.
But what he used that to help monarchs, like kings and princes. So and then he has a book called The Prince, where for like 500 years, nobody wanted to publish it or nobody wanted to talk about it. But eventually, it got people's attention because then a lot of the things he wrote about actually were true. So, for example, he basically would give a prince an advice, and the advice to say something like, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. But the idea was how to keep power, how to be liked or how to be kind, but not enough where you're hated. And that was the point, because once people hate you, that's when you're gonna be destroyed. But if they like you enough and they fear you, then you can survive and become a more powerful person. And that was his study basically.
You were able to find the definition of Machiavellic?
Yes. Machiavellianism.
Machiavellianism.
There you go. Cunning, scheming, scrupulous behavior or character. Usually low empathy and traits. Yes, low empathy traits. They'll be known to be called narcissists or psychopaths.
Yeah. I think it's all about you, right? You're trying to get everybody to like you because you're the best and you're the only answer to the world.
A couple synonyms for Machiavellianism is manipulative,
Okay.
opportunistic,
Okay.
and duplicitous. I'm so sorry, I don't know.
Duplicitous.
Duplicitous, yes. Thank you, Daniel.
Yes. Is sexy part of those synonyms?
No.
No, it's just you, bro. You're the only sexy here.
Let's checked off all the boxes.
They said they're often, and thanks to going back to Hakim's comment, is they're often charming, patient, really good at reading social cues and situations, but they do not reveal their true intentions.
Yeah.
What are your intentions? With my daughter.
Well, that would be my yes, but you don't have a
You
daughter.
don't have a daughter.
Oh, that's true. Lulu with Lulu.
You were not Godfather for a second. Okay, come back to the reality, bro. So I think going back to the topic, the power, right?
Yes.
So you basically the idea was you want to control and you want to have enough as enough of it as you can.
Yeah.
And then same thing with money. Unfortunately, with this guy being in charge, he's definitely hated. That is definitely for sure a conversation. And he also has money and he has power. But let's see how long that lasts.
That's true. Is that do you guys feel like you guys have an addiction to money? If you look at it honestly.
I mean, how can you not have addiction to money? And if you when you live in the society this like this, for example.
But is it like, are you at some point like, okay, I have enough, or what I'm making now is enough to continue to live a life that I like? Because I think for me, and maybe this goes back to, well, not goes back to, but it taps into another thing, right? Now that I have a family, right? I have a wife and kids. It isn't about me all the time, but like if I make enough to continue to live the life that I want, I'm no longer seeking for more. There was a time when I was younger that I wanted to have more money, right? The more money you have, the better. But now, and then also with a lot of things that happen in life, right? Where there's a point in time where I hit depression and there's like work was really stressful, right? and I was like, okay, so I need, and then I realized, okay, money isn't everything. I have enough. There's no reason for me to dive into more and like continue to stress myself out so much that is affecting my mental health. But I can still maintain the same life status that I have for the sake of my kids, for the sake of my wife and my family, right? So I think that's where I was able to get. But do you think there's others that are not able to realize that and still continue to seek more and more and more, and they're like, forget my family because now I need to spend more time, because it taps into like workaholics. You know what I mean? Like they're working because they want that money.
They want that money. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I agree.
That's right, Croc.
There's different factors that drive someone to be addicted to money or finances. It's family history, emotional compensation from others. So if you're insecure, you have more money, you feel more secure, others adore you. Cultural influences. So if you're often rich and famous, and the messages that you have more wealth, people expose their wealth to others can adore them. Or fear of poverty, which is a lot of, but I think that's majority of people have that fear of being poor.
It's a different tap, but it's a good thing. Not a good thing. It's interesting you mentioned culture, because I think it does play into culture a lot. I think we're talking about this one day, like culture, like a social status, and like in our cultures, and I think it's the same with yours, is very important in like Latin American culture, right?
Yeah.
Like wealthy people, right, have a higher stake.
And the culture that he's mentioning and you mentioned, I think also means the class you're in.
Yes.
So how, I'm guessing when he mentioned, based on your previous, like your parents and how you were born into, you could be poor and then you can go and want to be rich. And that is different than a person who's already rich and wants to be more rich versus not knowing how to survive if you become poor. So that's exactly. So I think that's one way of thinking. I wanted to add something right to when you were saying, I think you're supposed to know when is enough. How much is also enough. You know what I mean? Because I think when you're like in our society, like modern day society right now, where we at, I mean, like you're a workaholic and you're always gonna want to win. I mean, make more money as much as you can because you don't know how much is enough. What we're doing now is, for example, like if you're making enough money to feed yourself, like barely surviving, you're not gonna go to an organic store because you're gonna pay twice as much to get healthier food. For example, that's a whole different lifestyle. Versus you're not gonna go to the most expensive restaurants on weekly basis because you're not gonna afford it. You're not gonna afford it. Versus, maybe I should get a nicer car this time, or bigger car, and then that means you got to spend more money on fixing it and gas and yada, yada, yada.
Insurance.
I mean, the thing is, you don't really need all that, right? You as a human being, you could just survive. You could just be okay with what you have. But I think we, and maybe this ties into our upbringing, maybe when we're in school, maybe our parents. I mean, school's not going to teach you, by the way. If you go back to what the curriculum. I almost fumbled that. When you look at that, they don't talk about finance. They don't talk about money. You only learn about these only when you go to college, right?
Yeah, the real
Because they
world.
have that. Yeah, but even when you do that, they still don't tell you the process of making money and how much is enough. Like there's no chart for it.
Yeah.
So when you leave high school and you get to college, you're also like confused because what you're trying to do is you want to get the best job that pays the most because that's your goal, because that's like everybody's goal. Well, what for? What are you trying to do, right? What do you want to do for the remaining of your life before you retire and the American dream? What is the American dream, right?
What's your American? So, Ariel, what? Because you're talking so much, Ariel, I'm gonna cut you off right there.
Yeah, you're talking so much. Can you?
What is your?
Thanks, bro.
Do you have like a financial, financial goal?
I do. It's been, it might sound stupid, but I want to be able to pay for my kids' tuition when they go to college.
I'm kidding.
Damn,
I'm
dude.
just joking, man.
No, on a serious note, like that's
That's the goal.
to provide
cover
for
them.
them is something that I've always dreamed about. When Ryan and I were talking about marriage, I was like, this is my one goal for our future is to be able to pay for our kids' school. Because I'm looking at myself today and I have student loans out the ass, and it's like, when am I ever going to actually be financially free to the point where my money is my money and going towards the things that I want to use it for?
Right.
To provide them that luxury. Because every time, I know a few people that had their college paid for by their parents, and everyone's financial situation is different, but to be so lucky enough to have, let's put $25,000 a year for college, 4 years, $100,000, that now is being paid off with interest, by the way. Just to have that blessing, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
provided to you is something that I wish I could have had. And
I think that's great. Like, I think it's a great goal to have. But I think one of the things that dumps it, like, kind of like brings it together to the addiction topic and all that, I think society in general is addicted to having a certain status, having a certain wealth. Yeah. And it's like, when you talk about, like, I think you were making the point, like, where you want to have a job, a career that makes money. Like, I don't know if it's the same. I think it's the same with your cultures, but in Latin America, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, those are the types of jobs that are going to give you security, right? And I get that, because those are the higher paid salaries. But if you think about it, an artist can make money if they're good at what they do, right? And I think those were, like, in my opinion, those are things that in society and culture, like specifically Bolivian culture, I'll say that, they think of, like, oh, well, what is your son? He's like, well, he's an electrician, but he makes a lot of money. But he's a really good electrician. And because of that, he's going to make a lot of money. So it's the quality of work that you have that gets you there, no matter what you do.
Yeah. With the technology that it's going, and the fact that it's taking a lot away from jobs, I think people are adapting as well. So instead of, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but some people are saying, you don't have to work harder the way you used to. You could work smarter now.
Yeah.
Work harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's the other way.
The other way.
Work smarter, not harder. I was so confident with that.
Don't listen to Ariel. Work harder, not smarter. Yeah. But no, I think that's a good. Before we continue, what the time check? What's the time check? What are we? How are
We
we
are
at?
at 1 hour, sir.
1 hour. So we're on time.
We're
on time.
A couple of things we didn't talk about. I don't know if you guys want to continue, because especially when somebody tunes into this topic.
Yep.
We didn't talk about nicotine, and we didn't talk about alcohol and drugs.
Severe addictions.
Well, I mean, like,
Very quickly, guys.
Yes.
Just to verify, the World Health Organization has top 5. Which one do you guys think is number
top 5, guys. Top 5.
Top five,
Top
guys.
five.
I think social media has already reached number 1.
Nope.
No. Okay. Let's see.
There's nicotine.
Okay. World.
Caffeine.
He got it, actually. He just said it.
Nicotine?
Yep.
Yeah,
Number one.
Well, nicotine has always been
vaping.
up.
Is
There's
it-
vaping's there now, and it's much,
Nicotine,
and people
alcohol.
think. By the way, people
Alcohol's
think
2.
Okay. What is the next one?
Heroin, number 3.
Heroin. What the fudge?
Heroin.
We're talking about like hard drugs.
And then cocaine, number 4.
Okay. Number 5.
And number 5 is
Sex.
amphetamine.
Amphetamines.
Amphetamines. Okay.
That's
So
God.
but these are like
Well,
actual chemicals.
Those are,
Every single
I
one of these
think
are
all
chemicals.
of them could be drugs technically.
Yeah, but I
Because
mean,
those are all
and I
drugs.
think
they're
that's
drugs.
what it is.
They happen to half of them are. They just happen to be legal, like cigarettes and alcohol. They really are drugs, because they really ruin your system. You could
Oh, yes.
actually die from all of those.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
painful death.
And it goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. Sugar is a drug, and that's why it's not
It's
on
not
that
on the
list.
list. Nope.
Because it's a legalized thing that everybody does. It's normal, right? We're all addicted to. I mean, I think it is what it is. I'm addicted to sugar because I shouldn't need to consume that. Sometimes at night, I don't know if you guys, I know you don't because you've cut out sugar, but at night before I go to bed,
You have to
I
have a piece of
crave.
candy.
Yeah, I crave some
Yeah.
candy before bed.
Doesn't
A
that,
little
doesn't
sweet
that
treat
affect,
before bed.
Doesn't that affect your sleep?
It does.
though?
It does. It
They say
really
that
does.
when you have sugar at night, it screws up your sleep, man.
In like what
Depending on
way?
what
Like
color.
I won't have a good sleep?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh, no.
your brain is not in.
It's
You
'cause
may
you're
not
still
even.
young.
you
I was
may
gonna
not
say
even
I'm still like I can go to bed. Like I'll
Yeah.
go to bed and
crash.
I won't wake
do you
up.
go through like your whole phases of sleep, like deep sleep and all that?
Yeah, I go through like
Do you
my
dream?
REM.
Yeah, how deep?
No,
though?
not
You don't
really.
dream.
I've never dreamt.
Not. I mean, I think
Maybe-
everyone
maybe-
dreams, right?
Maybe you think about that then. I mean, I'm not a scientist or a specialist in this topic,
Yeah.
or a doctor.
But, like,
Please don't listen to me.
Yeah,
but I think
does
it-
eating
sometimes it
candy
can affect-
prevent nightmares or dreams
prevent nightmares.
Do they prevent or do they cause?
or help? Like, you know,
I mean, like I feel like
Mr. Armando is looking it up right now.
yeah. Maybe we just have him say it instead of
Because we're like speculating here.
It's like, I don't dream.
You don't dream?
I don't dream.
You
How do you
don't
guys not
remember
dream?
your dreams.
But
Everybody
everybody
dreams.
dreams.
Everybody
but
dreams,
I don't
but if you
remember
don't
my
remember,
dreams.
You don't
Well,
remember.
you don't have to remember. At least did your brain go there at
Yeah.
some point?
No idea.
See, you can't even not even like a glimpse of a place where your mind went.
Like I remember I went to go watch the It movie with Hotline when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I was laughing throughout the entire movie because the clown is the funniest thing in the world to me. It's
But
just
nobody was
funny.
laughing.
No one else is laughing. I'm the only one laughing. So I'm like a weirdo. But when I get home and I'm going to sleep, I would wake up like every hour, 2 hours, sweating. I was like, was I scared? Whatever. I would go back to sleep and I would wake up again, still sweating. Like I had a freaking nightmare like what I would when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Go ahead,
So,
Armando.
yeah. So yes, consuming high sugar foods before bed can cause nightmares because of the high sugar increases night sweats, causes inflammation, and leads to snoring and apnea.
Sleep
Interesting.
apnea.
Snoring
Yeah.
too.
I didn't know
But
that.
that's
You know-
different. I guess you don't go through that, and I'm not sure about you.
No.
But
I've never felt it. That I do have dreams, and I remember my dreams most of the time. And I know this is not what we're talking about. It's not addiction, but sometimes I have lucid dreams where I can like direct the dream. Like I can like say, "Oh, okay,
You
this
can
is-
choose like the next
Yeah,
move.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
That's
Lucky.
scary.
That's great.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's a
It's-
different topic. Lucid dreams.
Yeah,
or
lucid
dreaming in
dreams.
general, though.
Yeah, dreaming.
But-
Dreaming.
What were we saying?
What was I saying? Oh, shoot. I was gonna say, another thing, that's legalized and not classified as a drug that should be on that list that I think would be on that list is caffeine.
Yeah.
Um,
Too much caffeine can also affect
400
yeah.
milligrams. Caffeine.
Is it like your
How
heart,
much is
man?
400
Easily.
too much?
Because we're talking
Yeah,
about
that's the maximum.
Yeah.
Because after that, your heart can't take it anymore.
Yeah. Is it, you have to-
Dang.
yeah, it's like,
Because you got like Bang Energy, you have all these energy drinks that are 200
is there a
milligrams
specific
per
use
can.
for Bang Energy?
Oh, good
Bang energy.
God, stop it. But you know what I mean? Like they market it as like 200 to 250 milligrams
Yeah.
per can. And sometimes people drink like 2 or 3 cans a day.
That was me.
And there's a lot of sugar in it too, by the way.
And
There's
I
the
think some
sugar
of
rush.
Yeah,
they
like-
market it as zero sugar, but it has the
replacement
hidden
sugars.
sugars.
Yeah.
Yeah, replacement sugars, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Do we ever see that? Do we ever get to that list? FDA list sugar.
Oh, sugars?
I don't think we did.
It's
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
No, it's all good.
I,
But-
it's
I
just
closed it.
it's one of those things where like
It's not
they're
important.
never gonna admit to that, and that's just the only way to sell these products for cheap. Just because sugar in general is very cheap.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of.
You know why? Like during the 50s and 60s, there was a lot of studies done on sugar and the negative side effects of that, obesity, Alzheimer's, all of that. A bunch of studies were coming out. So what did the sugar industry do? But they marketed it so that it would be like you're looking at the wrong thing. It's not sugar. It's fat in meat. It's everything else but us.
But
They
sugar.
directed the attention elsewhere.
And they made
Sounds like the government this time around.
and it made the scientist who was initially studying those studies they made him look crazy. So
Epstein Files, who needs that?
You loco, man.
eventually he ended up like dying and his studies died
Jew
with him
loco.
kind of thing until more recently fitness influencers other reputable scientific journals started to look into it and like no, sugar it's what's causing all of these diseases.
And I think, well, sugar is bad. However, I will say that different people, different bodies absorb, consume, and process foods differently. We're not trying to give advice to anybody on what you should do or not shouldn't do. Same thing with alcohol. Same thing with nicotine. All of these things, and I think even the ability to become addicted to something is different for different people, right?
I
People
think
that
there's a genetic factor. to
right,
addiction.
Genetic
yeah. So I think that's so. All of that to say that
Blood type plays a big role too.
blood type.
Because your blood type could want that particular need and craving. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and how your
Play a
body
role.
processes it, right? Like, because I consume, I'm not the healthiest person in the world, but like, I'm not even kidding you. There was a time where before I went to bed, I would like be eating M&Ms as I'm watching TV, and like other people that may be something different and their body processes it differently, and then so I think you had to talk to your doctor, Daniel.
Yeah, advisor,
Okay.
your,
No,
your health professional.
Health professional.
One thing they do, I've seen it firsthand as well. They'll tell you, yes, you're overweight. They'll tell you, yes, you're not eating right. Here's a list of things you're not. But how many times do you actually follow that?
Yeah.
And the thing is, just because it's there and they give it to you, and I think even the health professionals, they will do their part. They'll tell you,
Yeah.
but they also like won't encourage you and show you and always on your ass about it. No. Because they want to, and this is how the industry works. Okay, we can also have another conversation about this, but the industry is this: they're going to keep you alive, but they also want to keep you sick.
That's the thing. That
That's
is
the
the
truth.
thing.
Sorry.
Sometimes it is the truth. What's up, Armando? You're raising your hand, brother.
Yes, Hakeem, I feel bad, so I brought it back.
Yo.
So the list goes like this. FDA approved high-intensity sweeteners, and these are the top four. Apartame,
Apartame,
sucralose,
Sucralose.
neotame.
Neotame.
And most of these sugars are in Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Diet Pepsi, Diet Mountain Dew,
Boom.
all the diets.
Yeah, I don't like diet. But I like
I have
that
a
zero.
Diet Coke addiction.
You do?
I do. I
Yeah.
love a nice Diet Coke.
Mm.
I like the
No
Coke
bueno.
Zero.
They're more
No
high
bueno.
intensity than
Okay.
the normal one.
Yeah.
All right,
when,
we're
when
gonna-
I had zero, by the way, first thing I noticed. Remember when I was telling you guys about how
Yeah.
I'll drink some sugar and I immediately right away notice and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what the hell is this? With Coke Zero, I've never had it before. By the way, first time I had it, I'm like, that's an interesting taste, but it's also like had something in the back where it's
Like an
it's
aftertaste.
nasty. It's
Yeah.
just- to me at least, it was just nasty.
No,
But
that's
then
not-
as I'm like drinking, I'm like, damn, I actually do like this in a way. So it's just like,
Well,
oh no,
how were you
it's
drinking
kicking
it?
again? No, of course not.
No, just real quick. How do you drink it? No. Okay. Before we wrap up the episode,
Do not cut that off.
I'm not cutting that.
Your brother deserves it.
before we wrap up the episode, we're gonna go around the table and we're gonna admit to our addiction. I'm kidding.
We already talked
I
about
already
it.
did mine.
It's all good. All right, I think that's a good hour and some minutes. Anything else that you guys want to mention before we call it a night?
I do want to put out this disclaimer. We touched on it briefly. We are not medical health professionals.
Yeah, no,
Please
to
do
us.
not take anything what we said as medical advice. If you are struggling with addiction, please get some sort of guidance from your providers, your medical providers.
We can. I think there's numbers you can call as well. We can put that on the post
I'll
on
put
the
it on the
Instagram
screen.
on the Instagram post for people to reach out to help because it is a serious topic, like we said in the beginning, and it is a serious problem for people. Seek the help if you need the help,
Yeah.
and then also
Seek that help.
that help.
You got also good
Reach
speech
out,
therapist.
reach out to us too. Put in your comments, and
Yeah.
tell us what your addictions are. Something that maybe we didn't talk about. I
Yeah.
feel like we.
Any fun addictions
Yeah,
that
fun
are there.
addictions.
Yeah, like Lego sets.
But then also habits too, because I think habit is such
Yeah.
a broader topic that.
And I
you
think
know-
that's probably
Yeah.
there's more fun.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more fun habits than fun addictions. Some people might think that addiction can actually is a cure because there was a conversation that marijuana people talk about this. They say that marijuana actually is a medicine, and they do make a lot of even magic mushrooms, different types of mushrooms. No, really.
You're talking about like Mario Brothers? Are you putting an advertisement for
Mario
it?
Brothers? No. What do you think that's about? They're advertising. Yeah. What do you think? That's actually true. That's what happens.
I'm sure it is.
No,
It
I'm
gets-
kidding. No. No, they make. There's a lot of medicines that's from those. That's
Absolutely.
in pills.
Absolutely.
And then for like the calmness, the point is, certain people when they self-medicate, right? Maybe they have anxiety problems or they have and there are times where people say that they self-medicate because and I actually agree with that, especially with
Self-medicate?
marijuana and certain types of mushrooms. They actually are medicines, So maybe, hey, it might gear to that conversation where you're self-medicating without any help, and if it's working, it's working. Helps with sleep, by the way.
Well,
It does.
I know 10 of people that do
It does. I've done it before.
they do
Mushrooms.
they do edibles and like smoke a little bit before they go to sleep.
yeah, do both of them.
But anyway, like I'm sure there's a list of that you can talk about, and I'm sure that it may not be a terrible addiction, but it could be a good addiction. So.
Yeah, good addiction.
Okay. Just for, like Ariel said, there's other things you want to do, but a few things that the Meadows Outpatient Center explains that if you can prevent addictions from going bad, recognize the cues if the addiction is getting bad, exchange that bad addiction for a good addiction, think of better reasons to lead that addiction, and set better goals. I don't know,
Yeah.
just something to help.
Yeah.
I think it's good to start, but definitely seek the help that you need.
Yeah.
I think you can cue the outgoing music,
Okay, ready?
and then
Yeah,
then
go
we
ahead.
can say, thank you all for listening.
Peace.
We are going to be back in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, you like this episode, and if you don't, leave comments. We can.
And if you
improve.
don't like it, leave comments.
If you like it, do not leave comments. But that's it, everybody. How's the music going? RJ? Fuck. Just randomly call him RJ. Armando.
I think that's his name. RJ.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody. Adios.